What is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic as always. If you guys have not checked out this little mini project series, make sure to go check it out. I'll link some of the videos right here at the top of the screen. But in short, me and my buddy purchased a really cheap E90 328i project car, and this thing was in really beat condition. And today she finally just got back from paint with a brand new paint job. We took it into MAACO. It cost in total about 550 bucks, which is cheap as hell for full paint. And we're gonna do an exterior review and basically an overall summary of how they did and how it turned out. So if you guys could make sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Feel free to browse any of my other videos as well. Let's get right into it. Forgive me for squinting, guys. It is extremely bright out today, but let's not waste any more time and let's check out the full paint job on this E90, courtesy of MAACO. And here we have it. Project E90 is practically restored back to completion. This car looks amazing. Now, of course, as the title of the video would suggest, you'll know that we did get this car painted at MAACO, America's Auto Body as their slogan goes. And we did get it painted in the OEM color. It's called Sparkling Graphite Metallic. I know some of you guys in the comments wanted us to go with a different color, but the thing is, we're not really planning on keeping this car, guys. This was more of just like a restoration project, just something to, you know, have some fun with on the channel and hopefully make a little bit of profit on when we sell it. But yeah, the color is really nice, and for 550 bucks, they did an amazing job. If I just come up close to the paint, you can see the metallic flake and the metallic effect. It's not perfect by any means. There are definitely a few areas where they got some overspray on certain parts, such as these headlights right here. If you look close, it's probably not going to come out on camera, but you can see just a little bit of that overspray on the headlight housing on the passenger side. Another thing that was really important was the fact that we did all the prep work ourselves with this car. So if you guys saw the previous video, you'll know that we sanded down the entire thing. You know, we took care of everything to ensure that basically it was going to be an easy process for paint on MAACO's end. And they've been known to not have the best prep work, basically. So that's kind of why we did it ourselves. And overall, the MAACO guys were saying we did a great job with prep work, so I'm pretty happy about that. But in the sun, you can see just how nicely it shines, and that metallic flake is awesome. Now, it's not a perfect color match to the OEM color. Of course, all the body panels were painted, so everything on the exterior is going to look uniform, but if you actually like open the door jambs, you'll notice like a slight color variance between the OEM sparkling graphite and the in-person one. I'm not sure how much the camera is going to pick it up, but in person you can tell just a little bit. Now, this is a single stage paint, so it's their most basic paint service that you can get. And basically what it is it's just the paint and the clear coat get mixed in at the same time, and then they are applied at the same time as well. So it's all kind of done in one shot. There's no primer that's used or anything. There's no, you know, multiple stages for the paint. So that's why you'll notice that the metallic flake is exceptionally apparent in the sunlight, which I kind of like. I think it actually looks really nice. But as the sun starts to set and as it gets darker, and even if you put this car in a more shady environment, you'll start to notice an almost like velvet violet type hue that the paint starts to give off. And that's definitely not from the OEM color. The OEM color is definitely that graphite gray, but in the sunlight, this is definitely gray. But like I was saying, in dimmer environments, you'll start to notice an almost like purple color, and it's very subtle. It's very dark, but it looks really cool. As you can see on the trunk, this was one of the worst panels prior to it actually getting painted. We had to do some really heavy sanding, pretty much down to the metal in most parts, and we actually sanded the trunk down so much that this portion actually has a very ever so slight ridge in the body, and you can't really see it. I'm gonna try to see if it'll come out on camera, and it doesn't look like it is, but at certain angles you'll notice like a slight ridge with the paint, and it kind of doesn't look the best. It looks a tad bit off, but it's only at very specific angles and very specific lighting that you'll notice it. Overall though, everything else looks amazing, really, especially for the price of $550. MAACO did a fantastic job, and the turnaround time, because we did the prep work, they turned it around to us in 24 hours, guys. So I dropped it off that morning. picked it up the next afternoon and the car was ready to go basically. So we installed brand new roundels on the front. Our kidney grills are back in as well. We also did the side glass as well in the mirrors because the film was peeling on them. Got brand new side glass that's ordered on both sides, driver and passenger. We also replaced the driver's side and passenger side rear interior door handles, which feel amazing because the OEM ones got all gooey and sticky from sitting out in the sun for so long. The trunk struts have also been replaced, as you guys can see. Well, it's kind of hard to demonstrate that, but before they were shot and it was really hard to get the trunk up. So new trunk struts are in. They feel amazing. This inner taillight also went out on us, so we got a new bulb from AutoZone for like $5 and replaced it in like 5 minutes, courtesy of Tyler. He took care of a lot of that work. But overall, this car is so clean now, guys. We can't really like wash it because the paint has a cure process, so you can only really rinse it for the first 2 weeks, but we just hit it with some PMS bead maker. Overall, we are very, very satisfied, especially when you compare the before on this car till now. Like, this car has come such a long way, and we've only had it for 9 days at the making of this video, and we picked it up from paint like 2 days ago, so it looks really good. Again, you can see some slight overspray like right there on this window trim piece. It kind of got onto the rubber just a tad bit, but again, it's nothing that's going to be like so apparent or major. As many of you know, the previous owner neglected this car quite a bit in terms of the exterior cosmetic condition. It was also sitting out in the sun for about 10 years and it was driven, you know, semi-often. It was also near the beach, so a lot of that moisture and salt definitely corroded the paint surfaces and oxidized many of those components. So fast forwarding with all the prep that we did, sanding everything down, as you can see, the final paint finish looks amazing. Overall for the price, I mean, it's just honestly unbeatable for $550. Big shout out to MAACO. They did a fantastic job with restoring this car essentially. I mean, the E90 now, it basically looks brand new in the sense that that paint is just so much nicer than what was on there before. Sparkling graphite metallic is a really nice color as well. It definitely has a very nice metallic flake, as the name would suggest, and it definitely pops in the sunlight. It has a very unique shade of gray, but almost like a dark purple built into it as well. It's a very, very unique color. Again, there were some imperfections, definitely some spots where you could see the paint bubbling a little bit. There were a few areas as well, like I had mentioned earlier, where some overspray did occur, like on some trim pieces, and a little bit did get onto the headlight. And a big thing with these paint jobs, if you want them to come out well, it's best to do the prep yourself. And if you definitely know what you're doing, that's going to go a long way. This was our first time sanding, removing trim and all that kind of stuff, and so there were definitely some noticeable imperfections with our work that definitely showed through the paint, and that's just natural. And of course, this was just their basic single stage, so it starts at $499, and they have different tiers of paintwork that you can do, and they can also do the full sanding and everything, but I think that's like $175 per body panel at the place that I was going to. So there's a lot that you have to factor and consider, but overall it is well worth it. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you found this video informational, or can't wait to see part 4 of this little restoration series on the E90. We have plenty of more content coming very soon. I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.